Imagine this. In a silent Stanford laboratory, a billionaire sits hooked up to electrodes while scientists watch his brainwaves in real time. Suddenly, when he sees images of money, his brain lights up, but not in the way anyone expected. The areas that activate aren't about intelligence, talent, or even luck. They're deep below the surface, in the subconscious. What if the real secret to wealth isn't what you do, but what you don't even realize you're doing? What if the wealthiest people on Earth aren't thinking differently, but seeing reality differently? Ever wonder why you keep hitting the same financial wall, no matter how much you try to break through? As you watch this, your subconscious is running money programs installed when you were a child. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself making the same financial mistakes, no matter how much you learn or try? You read, you watch, you know what to do, but something always pulls you back. That's not a failure of willpower. That's your subconscious doing its real job, keeping you safe from what it thinks is danger. Even if that danger is wealth, this video is for anyone tired of fighting an invisible enemy. Anyone ready to reprogram the deepest part of their mind and finally align their unconscious patterns with their conscious goals. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you see what happens to you." Neuroscience now proves he was right. Your brain's filters shape your world, not the world itself. And here's the twist. Only 5% of those filters are conscious. The rest, subconscious, programmed in childhood, shaped by people who probably weren't wealthy either. That's why you can't outthink your way to wealth. You have to reprogram the foundation. Why does your mind sabotage your wealth? Think about this. Every millionaire's journey begins with one shocking realization. They're not just trying to make money. They're fighting to overcome their own programming about money. Most people carry what neuroscientists call a scarcity imprint. It's a neural pattern so deep that wealth feels selfish, dangerous, even impossible. Maybe you heard, "Money doesn't grow on trees," as a child. Or maybe you saw your parents argue over bills. Your mind learned, money means trouble. Here's the twist. Your subconscious can't tell the difference between real and imagined danger. If it thinks wanting money makes you bad, it will sabotage you. You're not lazy, not unlucky, not lacking talent. You're just running an old script, one you didn't choose. But what if you could rewrite it, starting today? Let me ask you something. Remember a time when everyone around you complained about money? Your brain was learning more than you think. In the 1990s, Italian neuroscientists discovered mirror neurons, brain cells that fire not just when you act, but when you observe others acting. Your brain literally mirrors the people around you. You don't just learn from what people tell you about money. You unconsciously absorb their entire emotional relationship with it. If they're anxious about finances, your brain learns anxiety. If they see money as a burden, your subconscious adopts that burden. But here's the opportunity. Just as you absorbed scarcity, you can absorb abundance through the people you surround yourself with, even virtually. When you deliberately expose yourself to people with healthy money relationships, your brain begins to mirror their abundance patterns. Their confidence becomes your confidence. So, who are you mirroring right now? And what would change if you mirrored abundance instead? Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly you see that model everywhere? That's your reticular activating system at work. Deep in your brainstem sits this network of neurons that decides what information deserves your conscious attention. Right now, it's filtering reality based on what your subconscious believes is important. Here's the key. You only see what you're programmed to see. And that includes, or excludes, every opportunity around you. If your subconscious believes opportunities are rare, your RAS will filter them out, even when they're right in front of you. But when you reprogram your subconscious to expect abundance, something remarkable happens. Your RS begins highlighting opportunities that were always there but invisible before. You start noticing business ideas you would have overlooked, investment opportunities you would have dismissed, valuable connections you would have ignored. The Millionaire experiment leverages this by consciously programming your RAS to filter for wealth-building possibilities. But there's another filter, even more powerful, and it runs deeper than you think. Pause for a second and think. Why do lottery winners lose it all? Most people try to change their financial results by changing their actions. They work harder, save more, invest differently. But actions that conflict with unconscious emotional programming never last. Your subconscious will always return you to your emotional comfort zone, even if that zone includes financial struggle. You see, it's not about working harder. If your emotions about wealth don't change, your results won't change. Lottery winners didn't reprogram their emotional relationship with money. They received temporary abundance that their subconscious couldn't sustain because it felt wrong, dangerous, or undeserved. The Millionaire experiment involves deliberately reconditioning your emotional responses to money, success, and abundance. Instead of guilt about wanting wealth, you train excitement. Instead of anxiety about opportunities, you condition curiosity. Instead of feeling unworthy, you develop an unconscious sense of deserving prosperity. This isn't positive thinking. This is reprogramming at the level your brain actually listens to. Now imagine if your emotional comfort zone was abundance. What does wealth actually look like in your life? Not a mansion, but the emotion behind it: freedom, security, peace. Neuroscience proves what ancient wisdom knew. Your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. The same neural pathways fire whether you're experiencing something or visualizing it with sufficient detail and emotion. But most people get visualization wrong. They imagine generic success, luxury cars, big houses, piles of money. These images mean nothing to your subconscious because they're not connected to your actual values. The Millionaire experiment requires precision visualization, imagining the specific feelings, situations, and experiences that wealth will create in your unique life. Not just seeing yourself with money, but feeling the confidence from financial security. Not just imagining luxury, but experiencing peace of mind knowing your family is taken care of. When you visualize your true version of wealth, not society's, not someone else's, your mind believes and your world starts to follow. When you visualize with this precision and emotional authenticity, your subconscious begins to accept these experiences as real. It starts making decisions that align with this new reality. That billionaire's brain processed money as possibility, not as threat. What if you could do the same? Remember that Stanford laboratory? The researchers discovered his brain didn't just process money differently, it processed possibility differently. Where most people's brains showed fear and scarcity when viewing financial opportunities, his lit up with curiosity, creativity, and problem-solving. The difference wasn't genetic, it wasn't innate, it was learned. Wealth isn't about money, it's about the unconscious beliefs shaping what you see and what you can achieve. Your subconscious has been protecting you based on information it received decades ago. But that information was never yours to begin with. You have the power to reprogram these patterns. You have the ability to install new unconscious beliefs that serve the life you're creating, rather than the life you're escaping. Are you ready to update those beliefs? Awareness is the first step. Now that you see the real game, you can't go back. Which subconscious insight changed your perspective today? The mirror neuron revelation, the reticular activation secret, or maybe something else clicked into place? Comment below and let me know. And if you're ready to rewrite your inner money code, subscribe and join our journey. This is Millionaire Brain, where ancient wisdom meets neuroscience for your financial transformation. Each video we create together is designed to reprogram one more layer of limitation and install one more pattern of abundance. Your millionaire mind is already there, waiting for you to remember. Hit like if this video gave you a new lens through which to see your own potential, and I'll see you in the next exploration of how timeless wisdom can transform your modern life.